I am your host, Kaiology Mann, and this is LGBT Radio Nation. You know where we have fun, get empowered, and we exchange information. We are the number one LGBT radio station here on urbannationradio.com. I want to tell you guys today we have a special guest. Before we bring her on the line, I want to let you guys know that we are looking for sponsors, show sponsors, and also for advertisers. So if you have a business, you want to advertise a commercial during the breaks or anything of that nature, make sure that you guys give us a shout out. You can email us at info@urbannationradio.com, or you can inbox us on our LGBT Radio Nation Facebook page. Either way, but we've got some great advertising deals here, so make sure that if you want to be a sponsor, that you guys hit us up. Today, our show sponsor is Same Sex Life Magazine, and you guys should check them out at www.samesexlifemagazine.com. If you guys want to chat live with us today, you can chat live with us at scroll down scroll down beneath your screens, and you can give us a call at 313-867-1305. Today, we are going to be talking with author and poet Billie Simone. I know she has a lot of fans out there, so I know her fans are probably listening in. We're going to bring her in, and for those of you who do not know her, I want you guys to open up a new tab right now on your either your smartphone, if you can, on your laptop. Open up another tab and type in www.billiesimone.wordpress.com, so you can get a taste of who Billie Simone is. But Billie, are you there? You got her live? I can't hear her. Billie, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. I can hear you now. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm making it.
Oh, sad to hear that. Hope you get well soon, because it's getting cold out there. It's nippy. You got to make sure that you got everything on. Can't be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, walking
I'll be
around.
layered up.
Good, good. Some people I still see them looking at like it's summertime, and I'm like, man, you better put a coat on. You're gonna be cold in a minute. I'm telling you.
For real.
Listen, I am so happy to have you on the show today. I'm really thrilled to have you on the show today. Thank you for accepting our invite to come and talk with us.
Oh, I'm honored. It's a pleasure. So thank you.
You are welcome. What I want you to do first, Billie Simone, is I want you to tell our listeners who you are.
Well, I'm just really a sister from Houston, Texas. Writer, poet, and photographer. That's pretty much it. I'm just an artist trying to, make my mark on the world.
All right. Billie Simone. So that is, when I first saw that name, I was thinking, dang, that's a beautiful name. Now, were you born Billie Simone?
No, actually, Simone is my first government name. But Billie Simone is just a pseudonym, for my art.
Awesome. So we know that you said that you are an author, you're a poet, and that you are a photographer. Which one are you first?
That's interesting. Because I always say that music is my wife. I mean, actually, music is my life, and writing is my wife, and photography is kind of like my chick on the side. So, really, music is like number one before anything, and it's interesting because I don't play anything, but it's just I have to have music in my life every single day, and writing is just something that's just natural. It's just something that I do every day as well. It's just something that I have to do every day. So I really enjoy writing and expressing myself that way. That's the best way for me to express how I'm really feeling.
So are you the type of writer where you get up in the morning and you just start writing, or do you do your day and then you let that be the last thing that you do? What's your writing process?
My writing process is whenever I feel the need to write, I will write. I can I may be on this call in a minute, and I'll go to my notes immediately, and I may start write something might come to me, and I'll write. It doesn't matter where I am. It wakes me up in the middle of the night. I can wake up in the morning. It doesn't matter. I just write. I write all day, every day, something. It could be a poem. It can be some dialogue that I have, like a story in my mind. I'm always writing something.
So you actually have a new project out, and I think the project is called Unlovable.
Well, it's been pushed back. I had to push it back because it has just grown into this huge movement that I had no idea that so many people felt the same way that I felt. Unlovable for me was a project. It is a project that basically where I talk about how we make each other feel unlovable, and how we have even ourselves, and how we have to how we can pull ourselves out of that. So by me writing and sharing a lot of the stuff that I was sharing with, people that were my readers, and, people that were investing in me, they were just like, this is bigger than what you think it is. And we just kind of decided to turn it into something bigger. So it's going to be a short film.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a short film. It's going to be an enhanced ebook where, as you're going through your on your readers, as well as the iPad, iPhone, et cetera, there'll be movie clips and little stills here and there in the book as well. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So will it be like you said? It'll be like a film, right? Like you're reading a film.
Yes, exactly.
That is cool. Who came up with the concept of doing that?
I did. I'm pretty much a one-woman show. I do have a very, very small team that I'm building right now. But I've been, self-publishing since 1999. And I just kind of keep it small and in-house, and because I like to have complete control. And I'm realizing that as I get older, I'm going to have to start relinquishing some of that and start allowing people to help me. So I'm opening up myself to that in 2015, and hopefully, you'll be able to see more of me, because that's what I was told by me being such a one-woman show. The world doesn't know who I am yet.
Right. That does happen. You do have to have a team of people, and you do have to trust them. It's
Right.
like I was thinking earlier today, I'm sorry, my producer's like looking at me talking.
Right.
Oh, okay. So this is what he's gonna do, because he's so creative like that. When you're talking about your clips of your new book, Unlovable, he's gonna go ahead and show like one of your promos, because I was talking to him about your promos. Is that okay?
Oh, that's perfect. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you guys stay right there. We are going to show one of the promos from the new book movie of Unlovable by Simone.
We can conquer the world.
Is it okay if I call you Billy, or do you want me to call you Billie Simone?
No, Billy is fine.
Okay. Because I don't want to mess that up for myself for future, ventures.
Billy is fine.
Okay. So I don't know if you were able to see the one that we actually put up there, but can you explain your promos?
Basically, they are just me, my everyday life. I see a lot of different things. I just recently, well, not recently, I've been in Atlanta for the last 3-4 years. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and I just have an opportunity to see different things and see different people, and I've just been capturing everything that I can. Some of them, they don't seem like they're unlovable, but there's a meaning behind everything that I do.
Right.
And the one that you just played, that was just me, going through my day, and a lot of times the music has a lot to do with the clip as well as me. It's just my thoughts, really, conveyed in a film and with a song. I was actually listening to that song as I was riding on the train that day, and that it may seem like it's it's not a big deal to somebody, but it is to me to be able to work every day.
Right. I so feel you. That's why I'm sitting here laughing, because I'm like, ooh, that's my twin right there. I'm telling you,
Definitely.
writing is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. When I was going through some of your videos, and I think a couple weeks ago I had also gone through some of your videos. What I kind of like to do is stalk people. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
tell you I've been stalking you for a while,
All
and
right.
I saw a video. It's not there anymore, but I saw this video of you, and you were talking about, I guess, like breaking up in love.
Mm.
How much does like love play a part in everything that you do?
Oh, everything. It's probably the core of most of my work because for a very, very long time I felt unlovable. And even though people tell you they love you, even though society may, embrace you, there's sometimes when you get alone and you're in a dark place and you really can't pull yourself out of it because you feel like maybe the person that you want doesn't love you, or maybe you haven't quite learned how to love yourself.
Mm.
So it's I struggle with that because I do love myself so much. People have made me feel unlovable for loving myself.
Mm. So since you said that, because I understand exactly where you are, because I talk a lot about like self love and self growth and things of that nature, and I know that you know that you're not being selfish, for loving yourself. How many people do you have in your immediate circle that do understand where you are within yourself?
I would say, honestly, five. I have four really good friends that are there for me, and I have my mother and my sister that are like my number one fans. And I know I have other readers and fans and, people that care about me and love me as well. So I appreciate it. Believe me, I do. And I think sometimes I come off as an asshole. People think that, oh, she's so it's self-pity. It's not self-pity. All these stories are not mine. I read Facebook. I'm on Twitter every day. I see what people are posting. So all these stories aren't mine. I'm not pulling this out of thin air. People are feeling like this.
Right,
And I'm
right,
not the only one.
right. You think it's so much?
A lot of people don't respond or comment, but they'll send me an email and tell me, "Oh my God, you're speaking, you're saying exactly what I want to say, but I can never say that." But I did send this form to somebody, or I did send this video to somebody to let them know how I felt.
Um, well, we're gonna take a quick break. Can you hold on? Can you stay with us, Billy Simone?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome, awesome. Folks, this is LGBT Radio Nation. I am Kaiology Mann, and I am talking with Billie Simone. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And we are back. This is LGBT Radio Nation on earthnationradio.com. I'm your host, Kaiology Mann, and today we are talking with author Billie Simone. Billie, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome. Now, before the break, we were talking about, actually, I'm going to just say authentic, being authentic and standing in your truth. And we were talking about people not really, I guess, feeling comfortable enough to do that. And you were telling us why. Do you remember all that you were saying, or
A little bit.
a little bit? Okay. Well, here's the deal. I want to know for you what you believe that why people really won't tell their truth.
Oh, it's just fear. It's plain old fear. I mean, I suffer from it too. I think a lot of people just fear and just they don't know how. And that's why, like I said, I write so much and I share so much of my work, and it's so personal because you can't be afraid to get afraid to feel will. And a lot of people don't even want to feel. They mask, their feelings. They mask their true thoughts. They lie to themselves. I think that's a big problem in society today, where people just lie to themselves every single day.
You think that it's like almost blatant lie, or just that they aren't aware, or they why do you think what do you think it is?
I think it is sometimes it's subconscious. I don't think they are aware of the fact that they're lying to themselves. Then sometimes you know better. Deep down inside, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. So I think um, when it comes to love and expressing how we feel about one another and just, our experience. That pretty much kind of sets the trend of how we treat ourselves and how we treat ourselves and how we treat others.
When for you, when did you begin, or did you always just love yourself?
I think at a very early age, I was taught to, and I was always, I guess, ridiculed by it because I was always, oh, you're cocky, or are you, you think you're all that, and had all those something pushed me to this cell and pushed me into, like this box, like I was to be. It hindered me. It has hindered me a lot. I think that I could have been a lot more. Have allowed people to make me feel so unlovable.
You might be going in a little bit, in and out a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you right there. But do you think I think about people who have not been taught, like, because you said that you were taught at a young age to love yourself, right?
Right.
So for those people who were not taught to love themselves, how do you think that one would begin to love themselves? Like, what do you think that people could do?
I think people could really just, I guess, that's a really good question. For me, when I started feeling that way in my teens, I immediately I sought help. I started going therapy, and that's something that our community doesn't do. That's something that a lot of people in our community they don't understand. They wouldn't even know how to go about getting that type of help.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in college at U of H downtown, and they had a counseling center. And I went in there and I basically said I need somebody to talk to because something is going wrong with me. I don't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first step at 18 to start talking with somebody who told me that hey, it's okay to love yourself. It's okay for you to be selfish when it comes to your feelings and your thoughts and your dreams. And it's okay for you to want to be something more than what you are.
Right.
And people can tell you that, but until you start putting in the work yourself and finding out what you really want to do and what really makes you happy and what really makes you smile, you'll never do it.
Right.
So I would suggest somebody to really sit within themselves and have real honest dialogue with themselves about this that makes them happy.
Yeah.
And start there.
I told someone a while ago, I think I was doing maybe an interview, and I was telling someone, I said that being yourself, your authentic self, it's not like you just be yourself. Like, it's something
Right.
that you have to constantly work at every day. Because, if you don't, you end up swaying into someone else's opinion, or you tend to go into that direction. Have you ever, had your instincts tell you to do something, and some person told you to do something different, and you did?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of times, in relationships, especially when you're trusting a partner,
Mm-hmm.
you're believing that that everything is going to be okay and everything is going to be fine. And yeah, I've trusted people, and I've trusted someone deeply to the point where I believe everything they said. I trusted them blindly, and I knew that it was not going to last, but I continued forward. So yes, I have.
Right. Wow.
And it was devastating.
Yeah.
But, I think ultimately, when I look back on it, I wanted the lesson. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I continued forward. But I haven't done that since then.
Yeah. What did you change from that particular experience? What did you change or do differently?
Oh wow! Well, for a long time, I was very self-destructive after that. I just kind of went into a self-pity mode. But I I distinctly remember telling myself that I would never settle again.
Mhm.
And I, again, I guess that's when I turned into this quote unquote asshole because my standards were a lot higher. My expectations and, my needs were a lot higher. And, when people feel like they can't meet them or they you're cocky or you're arrogant.
Right, right,
So
right.
there you have it.
Yeah, and people don't realize that's not to say anything against you as a person.
Right.
It really doesn't, because when two people are at the same level, then they can actually talk and have a conversation. But when people are not at the same level, it's never gonna work.
Exactly.
And people kind of take that as, and you think you're more because we're not gonna work because you're wanting something different or more. Something
Right.
different. It's not that it's more or it's better. It's just something different you're requiring. When did you start like really just listening to yourself?
I think maybe probably in my mid 20s, I really started to listen to myself. Um, once I had an opportunity to work in the music industry for a little while,
Hmm.
and I really, really put my heart into that, and really put in, and that was something that really made me happy. It made me proud. Everything that I was doing at the time really, really made me proud of the work that I was putting out, and it just gave me a level of confidence that made me feel like that I could do anything. And this was after I put out my second, I had already put out 2 books. I wasn't really working as an artist on my own work. I was working for other artists. But just being able to be in that position, being able to be around the people that I was around,
Hmm.
gave me a level of confidence, and it just made me start really paying more attention to the energy that I put out and the energy that I allow in.
Right, right. So I'm glad that you even said that. What type of intentions, we as artists, we tend to put different intentions out to the world or different messages out to the world. What would you say you're putting out into the universe?
I want people to really, like I said before, have honest dialogue with themselves and really love themselves and treat themselves better, thus they will treat other people better. That's really pretty much my whole premise in life is just love one another. Love yourself and love one another. It's so easy, but it's hard considering everything that's going on in the world right now.
Right, right, right. And I'm glad you even brought that up. Right now, what's going on, in society, how do you feel about it?
It's heartbreaking. It's just from every aspect. I mean, I've been just in a constant state of sadness for the last 2 months with the Bill Cosby allegations, to the Mike Brown and Eric Garner situation, everything. It's mind-boggling. I want to just run and hide.
Yeah,
To be quite honest with you.
yeah,
But at the same time, we have to fight. So
right.
um, society is a part of the Unlovable Project. So I will be addressing how I feel about that. And I really don't write about politics. So I write about it, but I just don't share. But this is one of the first times that I actually write about something, share something that without the subject of love. I'll actually address how I feel about all of these things that are going on in the world today,
Yeah. Well,
and how it makes me feel unlovable.
yeah, yeah. That is, it is putting, I think most of us, a lot of us rather, in a state of just sheer sadness. And I feel you when you said that you've been like that for the past couple of months. I have also, and just really not having a whole bunch to say, because when you know how when you want to say something, but you got to have something that goes behind it, something that stands with
Right.
it. And it's hard right now because you don't see everything, but you see everything. It
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a bunch going on. What would you say, if you had an answer to what's going on? What would your answer be to what's going on?
As far as society or what particular subject?
just society?
My answer would be, God, that's a big one. Honestly, get close to your loved ones because the revolution is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I would say get very close and make sure you have your passport and make sure you are well equipped with some knowledge and some tools because we may need them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel an apocalypse. I feel a revolution. I feel something really big coming, and you should be prepared.
Right.
That's what I feel. Prepare yourselves.
Well, you guys heard it here from Billie Simone. This is LGBT Radio Nation. We are gonna take another break. Billie Simone, is it okay? Will you still hang out with us?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay. All right. This is LGBT Radio Nation here on UrbanNationRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Running my own shop has been brutal, but then I got a domain and built my web.
And we are back. This is LGBT Radio Nation. I am your host, Kaiology Mann, and we are talking today with author Billie Simone. Guys, I don't know if you have been watching the whole time, but what I need for you guys to do is open up another tab if you haven't already, and I need for you to go to billiesimone.wordpress.com and check out her website. Billie Simone,
Yes, ma'am.
tell us about Sweet 69.
Well, when I came out when I was 18, and I immediately went to the bookstore because I'm a reader, and started seeking out something that I could relate to. I needed some black lesbian literature, and there was none. It was, and I'm talking 1991. There was very, 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 very little black lesbian literature. So I wrote some, and there you have it.
I hear you.
There you have it. Yeah, it was Sweet 69 is just really basically my love life in poetry. From the time I was, I guess, coming out to my mid-30s. Yeah.
And tell us why erotica.
There wasn't any black lesbian erotica. I mean, I specifically looked like everywhere. There was Does Your Mama Know? The anthology.
Oh yeah, I got that long ago. Yeah.
Right. During my search, I stumbled upon Push, which was, by a black lesbian author that we know of.
Right.
But that's what I was reading. I was reading Does Your Mama Know? And I read Push, and there was and maybe Pat Parker. I found a Pat Parker book, but it was a lot of political stuff.
Right.
Found some Audre Lorde, but nothing for us. Nothing for a woman like myself, and that's where that came from.
When did you know that you were a poet?
Probably at a very young age because I was actually a rap artist in Houston, so that I did my little. I just wrote, I always wrote. When rap hit the scene, when hip hop hit, America, I was completely and totally entranced. I'm a B girl for life.
Yeah.
So it was just a combination of all of that. Me writing rap, me, being a hip hop artist, me just writing. Period. Just I started writing about hip hop and just started writing more about girls because I was trying to impress one. So there you go.
What is one of like your favorite poems of all times?
Of mine or just all time?
Of yours.
Of mine. There's a piece called Every Time. That's probably one of my favorite pieces. And it's a piece with me really and truly. You know how you never really know if a woman is gay or straight, but she's still kind of giving you this, this attention. And that's what that poem is. It was a true feeling and a true situation where I wrote a poem to a woman that was giving me way too much attention. And I didn't know if she was straight or gay. But then I found out she was straight, and it was like, oh, I have to write this poem. So I wrote the poem, and there you go.
So, since we haven't talked about this prior to, I won't, ask you to either recite it or, spit it for us. So.
Oh man.
I won't push you to do that. But if you like to, you can.
I might be able to do a little something. I'll do a little.
All right. Go ahead.
I'll do the first. I'll do the first verse. All right. Every time I see you, I wonder, would you like a good fuck? Maybe even give up that tired brother you dealing with and let me hit with my clit tongue and temporary dick. I'm sorry, I lost it. I'm sorry. I lost it.
That's all right.
Yeah, I got tickled. I'm sorry.
Okay. Tell us, since when did you start like doing photography? Was that something like you just picked up a camera when you were little, and or somebody bought you one? What happened with that?
Yep, I've always had cameras. I mean, I was the only child for like 7 years, only grandchild, so I was kind of spoiled. So I had a lot of stuff given to me to keep me busy. And my family, a lot of them, they just kind of nurtured, our talent. So when I had an uncle who took pictures of my cousins and us a lot, he had a Canon, and he was always taking pictures. And of course, I was like, oh, I want a camera too. So I had all the cameras, a little disc camera, every camera that has come out over the years I've had. So I've always taken photos. But I'm not really into taking photos of people per se. Like this fashion photography, I love photojournalism stuff, and I've always been a fan of Gordon Parks and all the stuff that he does. So it just it's another way of expressing myself. And it's a quiet pastime of mine. I can do it by myself and don't necessarily need an audience.
Right.
I don't stumble over my words when I'm taking a shot like I just did.
I saw some of I went to the Billie Simone photography page, and I saw some really nice pictures there. And what I was noticing was seemed like to me was a pattern. I don't know. I didn't look at the dates to see if they were all taken around the same time, but I saw that there were a lot of pictures of mothers and their children.
Yes. I am working on an exhibit right now called Keep 'Em Close. When I was a kid, I was one of the stories as a child that haunted me was the Atlanta child murders. And when I came here, I noticed how people are really, 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 really close to their children, and how they, as you can see in the photos, they keep their children close. I don't know if that has anything to do with that. I don't know if that's the energy here. I don't know, and I'm exploring that, and I'm researching that now. And hopefully I can have that exhibit sometime, in the summer or fall of 2015 here. Because I'm actively taking photos every day of people out, the children. But it's a different climate. It's a different feeling. It is. I can't explain it. It is so beautiful to see it, and I've never seen it. I've only lived in Houston all my life, and I guess I've seen those people all my life. So I guess I never noticed it.
Right.
But again, by me, I knew when I came to Atlanta that's always something that's haunted me. Like the Atlanta child murders. Oh my God, that was like a really, really big thing for me. And just to come here and see how people are with their children, it just automatic. I don't know. It just kind of took over.
Wow. Well, there's some really nice photos. If you guys
Thank you.
will go to the page, I think it's Billie Simone Photography, is it?
Yes, on Facebook.
Okay, and you guys can check that out too. There were some really nice photos there, really nice photos, and I was like, okay, cool.
Thank you.
What's the passion of with the children? I'm gonna make sure that I ask her about that. You
Thank you.
you have been influenced, I'm quite sure, by a lot of people. Who are your major influencers?
Okay. The first would definitely probably be Alice Walker, because I was 9 the first time I read The Color Purple. My mother did not censor my reading,
Mm-hmm.
so immediately after she read the book, I read the book, and there was a word for what I was feeling at 9
Mm-hmm.
in that book. So immediately, I read everything that I could by Alice Walker, and shortly thereafter, I discovered Nikki Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
And so those two are definitely probably, and Lorraine Hansberry. Those three are definitely the most major female influences as far as my work is concerned. And I've always loved James Baldwin, W. Du Bois. And then as far as hip hop, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, those are pioneers. And art, as far as photographers, Gordon Park. And it's so many, so many influences, but those are the major ones that I can just right off of my head right now.
Those are some awesome ones, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us what's important to Billie Simone right now.
The most important thing for Billie Simone right now is to maintain my sense of pride, maintain my sense of dignity, and not get too emotional, and just be careful about how I present myself. I had to kind of pull back online a little bit. I think my message was getting a little blurred, so I just want to make sure I'm conveying the right message, and I can be an influence and not another eyesore in the community.
Right. I hear you. So tell us what's not important to Billie Simone.
Clothes, fashion, clubbing, bullshit. Right now, just bullshit, really. That's a big one. Because I don't allow any negative energy in my space, so that would probably be the big thing.
Yeah. What has changed about you since you were a kid?
Wow. I'm a lot more open, a lot more outspoken than I was when I was a kid. If I would have been a little bit more outspoken, I may be, again, in a different place in my life. I was very, very shy, and I'm still very, very shy, but I think I'm finally getting out of that. And I've been able to use my art as a wall, but now I know I have to come behind that wall to present more art. And so now I think I'm a lot more outgoing than I used to be.
If what type of legacy after you are gone would you like to leave?
I've been thinking about that a lot lately, so it's interesting that you asked me that. I just want a little girl that's struggling with whatever she's going through to maybe stumble upon my book and have some questions answered for her. That's if I could help 1, 2, maybe 3, if I could just help somebody understand, that they're not alone and what they're feeling is not foreign and not wrong. So I just want to be able. I hope my work is something that can help someone and keep someone in the future.
What does spirituality mean to you?
Well, I definitely believe, that there's a higher power. Um, I do pray. I meditate. Spirituality means to me that, it's who you feel comfortable with sharing your inner thoughts and your inner, desires with. As far as your higher power, it could be, God, it could be Christ, it could be Buddha, it could be whatever you decide, that's for you. I was, raised Christian, Baptist, of course, Southern Baptist, so I just spend a lot of time in church, but, I do read my Bible. I do, I have my prayers that I read. I do say my prayers at night, I think it's very important that we all have some type of spirituality in us.
What you know how when you're going through, and I'll just say I'll use you for example because you are following your hopes and your dreams, and as always there's always some type of obstacle that seems to kind of like come into play. What has been for you like the hardest obstacle for you to overcome?
Honestly, oh my goodness, being a full-time artist, it's surviving as a full-time artist. I'm back in corporate America right now, working full-time, and it's been such a struggle trying to balance, Billie Simone as opposed to, the person that has to go to work every day from 8 to 5. So that's been the biggest obstacle since I put my first book out in 1999, trying to survive in doing this. And, people have been telling me, oh, you can do this if you do this, if you do this, do that. Well, I hadn't wanted to find a literary agent. I hadn't wanted to, get with a publisher. I hadn't wanted to, sell myself, quote unquote, to the devil yet.
Right.
So, so I'm just trying to find the avenues to do it full time, by myself. Right. That's been the biggest obstacle.
Well, why don't you do something for us if you can? Leave us some tips and some tricks, maybe something that will help us become more open into who we are.
Well, of course, I say it again. I always tell people to find some securities in their insecurities. I always tell people to always, try to have honest dialogue with themselves. Try to have those honest conversations and don't lie to yourself. That'll keep you from lying to others. Because if you tell one lie, you got to keep telling them. And I have a bad memory, so I stopped lying when I was like 10. For real, because a whooping was enough for me.
I know that's right. Learn quickly.
And just, perfect. If it's just something that you want to do and it's something that you've always desired to do, then to just do it and not allow it to just eat away at you, because that's kind of like a sin to just sit on your talent. I know a lot of talented people that just don't care that they have it, and it's like that is just awful to me.
Yeah. What's that quote about the graveyard being the richest place on earth?
Yes.
Yeah. All the talent. Yeah, that
I'm
just died
you.
with all those people. Yeah. Why don't you tell us when we can expect your book, and tell us how we can reach you and how we can connect with you and everything that is you. Tell our listeners.
Well, right now I'm in the process of restructuring. So BillieSimone.com, our website, will be back up and running in January. And right now you can reach me. I'm online everywhere: Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, everywhere. YouTube. My website. My blog is BillieSimone.wordpress.com. I do have a love poem book called All for Love that's coming out in February for Valentine's Day. and hopefully Unlovable will be coming out shortly thereafter in May of 2015. That's the date we are scheduling for that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, reaching out to me.
You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. I told you I have been stalking you for a little while. That's kind of how I do before I really talk to people. I know people think that that's kind of a weird way.
Oh
but
no.
I like
Honest
to see people first.
Look, honest conversations, we all stalk each other in some form of fashion.
Right.
So, totally understand.
Right. Well, we like to end our show with a quote, and I don't know, Billie Simone, if you have a quote, but if you do, you can share a quote with us. Do you have a quote?
Let's see. The only quote that I always tell people, and people say that's my quote, find some security in your insecurity. That's my quote.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna give a quote, and my quote today is: "Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought, and the thought has found words," and that is by Robert Frost.
Oh, I love that.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on our show. I really appreciate you. I won't be like standoffish from now on. We've made that a point. I will make sure that I really talk to you now, and I'm glad that you came on. Thank you for sharing all that is Billie Simone with us. I appreciate that.
Oh no, thank you. Continued success, and I want to say shout out to Detroit, everybody in Detroit. I appreciate y'all for listening in. Everybody that's listening in right now, I appreciate it. And shout out definitely to A-Town.
Awesome. Well, as far as our listeners, I thank you and I appreciate you for tuning in tonight, because I know that time is precious and you can be spending it any way that you choose. But you choose to spend it with me. I am your host, Kaiology Mann, and thank you for watching the LGBT Radio Nation show on urbannationradio.com. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was wonderful.